Hello and welcome back to DC Challenges Emerald Walkthrough. Now let's continue forward and our first actual steps in the grass further up here past where was attacked by a Dragoon. Now we first fight our first Wurmple. A Wurmple, to be honest, is like a Caterpillar or Weedle from the older games, and it's just a weak ass bug type that you'll be seeing quite a bit of for some reason, because the, makers of these games decided, hey, let's just fill this game with a bunch of bug Pokemon because, they're pretty challenging. So yeah, a couple of scratches and you'll take it out quite easily. Now, I forgot to do this last time, but you can put your third option to put text speed to fast, makes the game a hell of a lot quicker. Now, first thing you want to do in Odell Town is go to this guy. This guy will first of all show you the mark, which is a useful place to know about, as it gives you all the good items that you'll be needing throughout the game. Plus, it gives you a potion. And potions are always good, especially the free ones at the beginning of the game. They're my favorite. Help you win a couple battles, especially against a rival one if you need it. Now you're left here, and you see this guy who wants to stop you because he's sketching some rare footprints or something, being a tool and letting you go past. Now you head up north to look for May's kid. Well, Birch's kid, May, sorry. But unfortunately we're going to get sidetracked by a wild Wingull, and that annoys me because Wingull is a water Pokemon that likely has water gun. And Inferno being weak to water will get a couple bit of damage before it fight May. And yes, it did have water gun. Very unfortunate for me, but hopefully it won't get off a second hit, and oh, it will. That's disappointing. I thought I'd take it out for sure, and damn, did a lot more than I would have hoped it would do. Probably gonna have to use a potion before I fight May now, unfortunately. And Inferno's level 6, that's good, so, going to fight your rival, it's best to have a Pokemon a level higher and have a potion handy just in case. Because, equal level, a critical hit will own you, and otherwise, well, you don't want that. Being level 6 will make the battle very easy, especially with the potion. Okay, Puchian on one hit, see? That's the critical that I was talking about, very awesome. Don't happen a whole lot in the game, but when they do, they're definitely worth it. Though unfortunately, they seem timed to be perfectly against you. Okay, I didn't mean to go to my training card just then, I wanted to go to my bag and use the potion just to make sure that Inferno is ready for this battle, as I definitely don't want to lose this. And I really shouldn't be anyway, it's not like it's that hard. Okay, so I've been given a Pokemon as a gift. She wants to see what kind of a trainer we are, and she can tell that by just battling us. I'm very fortunate for her. Now let's kick her up, but really, smash her, send out Inferno, and just use Scratch really. Now, in this battle with any of them, you could use the, that lower moves like Growl or something, or Tail Whip or whatever you get, but I recommend just attacking them straight off, Just inflicting as much damage as quickly as possible, and unless they get a critical, that's not likely they'll get. It may take a while if they continuously use Growl, but you get 1600 experience and go up a level, so just keep attacking them and try and end it quickly. And Inferno's like Focus Energy, not a bad move, but not one of my favorites. I don't really use it. It boosts like your chance of critical hit the next turn, but I don't particularly use it as, the damage straight away will end up double for those two, and often won't actually need the critical hit from that. Now, apparently May can see that why Birch gave us the Pokemon and blah blah blah. Now, we'll be heading back to the lab because, that's the logical place to go back. And I have to say, going back down a route is a lot easier. You can just jump ledges and stuff, and you can go through all sorts of places. And unfortunately my game's stuffed up here for a second, so yeah, it's all good now. And we're heading back to Odell Town. Not very exciting, I know, we're going over the same place again. Not a particularly exciting, but we'll get somewhere very soon. I promise you there'll be action, plenty, trainers to battle, and all sorts of stuff. Now, back to Birch's lab, and let's see what he has in store for us. Unfortunately, I was just gonna have to run into some trees, but yeah. Now, let's see what Birch has to say. Apparently beating May on our first time, May is very extraordinary, and we deserve a Pokédex for just yelling Scratch at our Pokemon constantly. And yeah, with that also just yelling Scratch, and you automatically win, and people find that actually impressive. But based on other trainers in this game, I can see why. Okay, so May gave us her balls. Interesting. Anyway, I wonder what she was doing with 5 of them, but okay. Now, outside of this bit, I'll show you something fun I could do because, all mums are psychic watchers. might see that, doubt it. Anyway, we disappear off to this side, and we walk all the way up here where she can't see us, right? And all of a sudden she just turns out, yep, that's where it is. And she comes up. And now she's accepting that, you know, us a 10-year-old kid will be going off on an adventure somewhere, and she decides that the most useful thing she can do for us is give us shoes that make us run. That's right. We couldn't run for 10 years before this, and all of a sudden, now we've been given the gift of running through a pair of shoes. That is magic like that, entirely. But the running shoes are my favourite addition to the Pokemon games, make it so much easier. I mean, I barely even use the bike when I have running shoes. But then again, a bike is also useful, depending on which you prefer, but I like the running shoes more, I think. I mean, I was a fan of the black and like gold, or maybe red or something, you know, when you can actually have running shoes, but I have found the running shoes better in this game, I think, than the bicycle. Anyway, Inferno could use a healing, so I can do that when we get over there. But until then, we'll most likely be versing level 2 and 3, so shouldn't be too much of a difficulty as we head up through the grass, and unfortunately we take a second step and run into a Pokemon because that's just the way it happens for us when doing a walkthrough. And Puchiana, decent Pokemon, actually. I considered using one, but I decided I wouldn't use it against too many trainers, to be honest. The dark type would only be helpful with mostly psychic Pokemon and ghost Pokemon. I just don't think there's enough of them to be bothered using the Puchiana. Though if you have the time, if you have the patience and the time before the 4th, or before the psychic gym later on, go ahead, train one up and own gyms with them. I mean, it's a very useful Pokemon for that specifically. But personally, I don't particularly like the Puchiana or Mightyena. They're just, I don't know. And now we can run through there, because apparently, and I forgot to go back and talk to that guy, but he was sketching his own footprints because he's an idiot. And now we get to our first Pokemon battle, and apparently we can't refuse because we're an official trainer. I wonder if there's like, I don't know, officials like sitting in the grass, like, copying down notes on who's accepting the challenges and who's not. And if you don't accept the challenge, they like leap out and arrest you, tie you in a bag or something, cart you off, put you in front of a, I don't know, a jury or something, and convict you just because you didn't battle a trainer with a level 5 Puchiana. This is why you battle it. Not to mention they give out decent experience at this stage, but also because you don't want to be dragged up by the Pokemon officials I've just met up. And level 8, Inferno is getting some good experience nice at level. Speaking of experience earlier, I recommend that you get a Pokemon fairly early, you know, maybe just before, just after the first gym. So that way you'll have at least a Pokemon to be training with your start. I don't mind, after that, you know, you can wait for a while, but ultimately I prefer getting a couple Pokemon early, getting them to high levels, then using them to help me train the other Pokemon either by switching out or using the experience share, which fortunately you get quite early in this game, which is rather helpful. Now I'm all alone, it's not a problem for torture. It would be even easier if we had, say, Ember, but apparently my Pokemon doesn't get that quite yet. And all there is to do is just scratch this thing to death. And we'll have to repeat the process as bug catchers are infamous for having these bugs. Apparently bug Pokemon are that challenging. There have to be billions of bug trainers around the place. This is only the first, mind you. But wait for it, you'll get sick of them just as sick of them as I do eventually. In fact, so many of them that they'll just piss you off like they did with me. Now, we defeated bug catcher Rick, got 64 dollars for doing so. It's not illegal for betting on like animals or something. I'm probably not the first to say this, but yeah, if you're betting on animals, it's not illegal, especially for like kids. I suppose with kids you wouldn't suspect it, so you probably get away with it, just the fact that adults wouldn't assume you're actually doing it. Plus, I suppose the police force in Pokemon is not the greatest, is it? Now, the Zagoon yet again. We'll be seeing plenty of these to irritate me to no one, really, just to see them all over the place. They look like a bit of a thief, too. I've always wanted the Team Magma or Aqua, or whichever one it is, wouldn't use them just because they look like they have a mask and look like they're up to no good. Does anyone else see that I'm looking at a Zigzagoon? Too late now to really look at it, but that's what I was like Taylor. I like Taylor. Taylor, like Pidgey and Starly are Pokemon I like, you know, the normal flying bird Pokemon. Straight away, the bird flying Pokemon's a bit redundant, but yeah, straight away you get it. Learns flying is often good against one of the gyms in the first couple towns, and that's just a useful Pokemon all around. gives you speed and decent attack and all sorts of things. It helps you fly around too later on. Very useful, but I'll be speaking of those more later. Now, berries, I recommend you pick those, just because they're a couple easy to get right away. You're going near them anyway, may as well pick them. Now, apparently this train is going to keep winning and beat us, and you know, whether her career, but unfortunately I'm going to end this run of hers, whatever it is, by beating yet another Zigzagoon. Let's see if you look at it though. It looks like it's got a mask over its eyes, and looks like it's up in the wood. So a couple scratches and hopefully we'll end it this turn and just get it up a level. Hopefully. Though knowing my luck, yeah, so it wouldn't even get knocked out levels with 1 HP. Rather pointless really. Oh, we'll get it this time. And will we go up a level? Let's hope so. It's Torchic learns Ember at about level 10 or 11 or something. And yes, it is 10 on Ember. And just in time too, I think she has a grass Pokemon next. Maybe, yes, it is a Shroomish. Talk more about Shroomishes later, just because they get mentioned again in a bit, and probably another couple of them later to fight. But yeah, Ember for Shroomish, that's $6,000. Not particularly challenging, nice and easy. Good way to defeat this chick, and we'll now go down, because there's a potion down here, a free potion. You know, I love my free potions. Or you will after a few of my videos. If I can find a free potion, I'll take it. Now up to the Pokemon Center, because we're going to finally heal in front. We've had a good run, we've gone through all this trainings without needing to be healed, and I think we'll stop here. We're just about to go face the gym leader, who happens to be, we're going to go find the gym leader, who happens to be your father, so I'll end it about here. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.